I mean, he did dip into the top 10 for a couple of weeks, but he's been in that sort of outside band for a couple of seasons now. And how do you make him a regular at the top table?
First serve.
I think we have to remind ourselves, still only 22 years of age.
Yes, he's still young. He's still, and that's why none of this is criticism. It's all you'd be looking, going, "Wow, this is a big upside. It's still to come."
Team Canada.
He's really starting to rattle through these service games now, and he's ahead once more in this opening set.
Team Canada leads
5. Team Spain, Team Canada, the opening match.
Well, the world number 20 serving to stay in this opening set, but all his prowess, Pablo Carreño Busta, over the course of this tournament, he's not had this his own way. Did have all those opportunities in Shapovalov's opening service game, couldn't convert.
And this one was the right one to go after. There was room there. It was a shortish ball, had time to get set. You can see there where I'm talking about how he really rips that left side around, but that time he had good timing on it. Very smart lob.
And there's that chip return, Todd, that you were looking for, asking for, and actually, whether it was deliberate or not, the fact that it was so short in the court really brought Carreño Busta out of the comfort zone, and as you say, a smart lob to expose that.
Oh, it's been a real injection of pace from Shapovalov in this game. He can make things happen so quickly.
15-40.
He gets to use that off forehand of his again there, and Carreño Busta, at this point, he was gone. That was wonderful.
Yeah, 2 set points. They've come out of really nowhere. What a start for Team Canada.
Team Canada.
As Shapovalov takes the opening set by 6 games to 4.
And for the first time at the 2022 ATP Cup, Pablo Carreño Busta of Spain has dropped a set. And what a time to do it against Denis Shapovalov of Canada. And that's back it down the line, securing the opening set. 6 games to 4 for Team Canada, the world number 14 of the world number 20. You can see some of these key stats. The unforced error count definitely leading the way of the Spaniard. Despite that, though, Shapovalov taking the set and the winners lopsided, to say the least there. Those 6 break points unable to be converted by Pablo Carreño Busta, so many of them coming in if not all, the early exchanges of that set as well. We had a 10-minute game there at one point. So hard-fought contest, but the break when he needed it most. Denis Shapovalov, 6-4 in the first, and now it's all on the shoulders of Pablo to try and level it up and take it to a deciding set. The AT P Cup final, exclusively live right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Canadian team that have played together through Junior Davis Cup to Davis Cup, ATP Cup. They're due. They're actually due to win a big one.
They are.
I wonder if it'll be tonight. Good start.
Todd, great call with the importance of that opening game or opening couple of games, and I feel it's same again here. Denis took a break from the court after winning that first set. It's imperative that he keeps his focus here, take care of business in this game. We know Carreño Busta is going to just keep competing. He won't let his head go down at any stage.
A quick little anecdote story. You might like this, Colin, about the great man Ken Rosewall, who we're in his arena. And as a young player, John Newcombe was the Davis Cup captain, and Newcombe would often say that after a tough match, you need to go out and play a lot, not just a regular 20, 30-minute warm-up, but maybe it's 40 minutes an hour. He said that's exactly what Ken Rosewall used to do a lot. Oh dear, well,
Team Canada requesting video replay left service line.
He just stopped. He was waiting for a call, but there was no call. You got to keep playing, Denis.
Yeah, he thought his own serve.
Yeah.
So I think bizarre there from Shapovalov.
Ready, 15.
This event, and for many more like it throughout the course of the season, we do not have the good linesmen and women of New South Wales. All lines called electronically by the 12 Hawkeye cameras that are stationed around this arena.
And just to finish off about Ken would go out and say, no, I'm not quite ready yet. I think I need a bit. He'd play a set. He'd just play a full set, sometimes a little bit more before he'd go and play his actual match. And he did that to really feel like he was flushed out and then ready, and then he'd start the match as if it was sort of a continuation of what that warm-up had been.
Yeah, Team Canada.
And he continues.
First
So thanks to APT, a look at how that first set unfolded between Shapovalov and Carreño Busta. I mentioned those opening exchanges. It's brutal between these two. Have been in some great form for their teams right throughout this ATP Cup, and that's the sort of form that's kept Carreño Busta unbeaten. All straight sets victories over Tabio and Djurasovic, Krajinovic, and then Zielinski, who was thrown in the deep end in their semi-final. But in the end, Shapovalov got the crucial break and 6-4 up in that opening set as things get very interesting. Team Canada, the comeback kids, Felix Auger-Aliassime and Denis Shapovalov. Roberto Bautista Agut next up on stage for this Spanish team as Carreño Busta serves love one down.
He's allowing Shapovalov
15 love
to use the old corkscrew lefty serve, the kicker out wide, the swinger.
So you'd like to see him cut the angle off and
it's not working.
And reduce the space.
It's not working. You've got to make Denis change where he's serving the ball, because right now he's in a comfort zone with it, and he's serving very, very well.
Great analysis there, Todd, and I couldn't agree more. Just what I would add is that it's a high percentage serve for Shapovalov as well. So if it's low risk and high reward, I mean that's such a comfortable place for him to go. And as a right-hander, you've almost got to cover it somehow. In this case, maybe get on the baseline and say, you know what? If you can hit that T serve, the flat one, the low risk, or excuse me, the high risk one, then too good. But I'm going to stop you beating me out wide. You know, I'm going to change the narrative here.
Game, Team Spain. One game all.
I think also when we talk about the serve as he gets ready now, it's just he's got that variety. We talk about the swing, but he's actually had variations of pace too, which I really liked watching from him.
I want to throw something, and either of you can take it. Just having a look at Pablo Carreño Busta's record against players with one-handed backhands who are also in the top 20. And in his career, he's only won 6 of 25 encounters with that combination of top player plus one-hander. And I was just saying, is there something about the way the ball comes off a one-handed backhand as opposed to a two-handed backhand that
I don't know, Colin.
He's not finding comfortable.
I think probably Federer and Thiem might have been in the. Yeah, they're fairly handy.
And Tsitsipas, you know, nothing jumps out at me, Sam. I think it's relevant to this match because he's trying to pick on the one-hander of Shapovalov, isn't he? And hasn't really been able to impose himself in doing so. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear how that compares to his record against top 20 players in general. And also, I think we have to put an asterisk, as Todd says. I mean, Federer, Thiem, Tsitsipas, pretty handy players.
Cuts out the unforced errors. As an opponent, you know he's dangerous, so you start to feel you have to do more. And this is what's happened for Carreño Busta here. He's now pushing for the lines. And it's him that is drawing all the unforced. That's not the game style that he plays.
Well, Shapovalov can play these highly disciplined matches, and I think we saw one of the best of.
Not to mention the stat I read, guys, that a team have never won the ATP Cup, having lost a tie. They lost the first 4 matches, didn't they, 2022? And my goodness, what a turnaround it's been for them.
Team Spain. New balls, please.
1 break per set so far. Is it going to be enough for Team Canada?
Team Canada leads 4 games to 2.
Thomas Carbonell looks like he'd like to dust off his rackets and get out there himself.
Something. So this is that time in a match when you've had that great momentum swing that has happened for Denis, and now there will be an element of, okay, keep it tight, keep it together. He does have the advantage here of new ball, so a couple of quick early points in the game would be handy.
pictures there of the new balls coming out the can. You see how compact they are. You know, the felt is not fluffed up at all, and that, as we've said, makes them so much quicker through the air and off the court here. Fantastic return from Carreño Busta there. Is he just starting to feel something off the back of that hold from Love 30?
He
was up on the baseline there.
Yeah,
he has made the adjustment.
Yeah, exactly. Just looking like he's come in a little closer. We spoke about that earlier, how Dennis had been just can opening him by swinging it out wide, kicking it out wide. So he's trying to take that away from him, give him a different look, and it's smart from the Spaniard. Now this is the area of a match, Colin, that the typical.
Great return again, and Shapovalov's just been slightly late in the last two forehands.
How quickly things can change. Don't forget, he did have a break point opportunity early on in this set, couldn't convert. He's got a couple more here. And this is where Shapovalov has been so good this week, particularly in the semi-finals against Roman Safulin, serving well under pressure.
It was a big 2021 for Pablo Carreño Busta, not only grabbing a bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics, but also tying the knot with his partner Claudia in December as well. So the Spanish tennis star was hitting a few aces off the well. All straight sets victories, all four of them to lead into the final with Team Spain. And here he is, he's dropped his first set against Denis Shapovalov, but under pressure, a crucial break, and now a chance to level it up at 4 apiece in the second.
Beautifully played.
I love that point. That is just setting it up and using your strengths nicely.
15.
Oh, fantastic from Shapovalov, and that's got to be the blueprint for him. It was attacking with margin. The volley was textbook as well, wasn't it? The way he cut down the angle and just kept it simple out in front. Interesting to see how he responds here. At 4-1, 30 on the Carreño Busta serve. He could almost taste victory.
These nets certainly don't give you a lot.
Couldn't help himself. Just could not help himself. he'd set that point up so well. Carreño Busta possibly just tweaking his ankle there when he ran for the net cord, but Denis just had to keep working the point there, keep working the ball. Didn't need the knockout blow.
Well, that's the sort of setup that you're talking about, without the knockout blow. This was set up by this return. He gets a big, high, hard, heavy loop on it. It bounces up high, which forces Carreño Busta to slightly miss it, and he's dragged him so far out of court that is the right one to go after. It was percentage because it's cross court, and he can really rip around the outside. Absolutely beautiful.
Wonderful width from the 22-year-old. Once again, finding spaces out here on this Ken Rosewell Arena, and more break points for the Canadian. And it was the perfect response.
Team Canada leads 5 games to 3.
Well, we talked about at the end of the set how well Shapovalov had done with his serving, because Carreño Busta had been back in the court. Well, in set 2, he has moved his position. You can see he's come back up to that 2 metre behind the baseline mark. He broke the previous game. It was evident that that helped him to do that, and he's going to have to do it to stay in it here.
At times from Shapovalov. He just bludgeons.
15 love.
Yeah, but he gets himself set on both of these forehands nicely. That one he got good preparation, and then here he actually gets the feet set again early, and then he's able to unleash. You can see at the end of that one, the body weight was actually coming forward and down the court. That's when he makes his good ones.
Net first round.
It's so apparent here courtside, you know, the easy and phenomenal power that he generates. Carreño Busta, you called it lockdown, Todd. He wants to go into that mode, but he can't touch the ball on half of these. He just looks helpless with the ball flying past him. But it's whether Denis can keep executing. He is playing high-risk tennis. He's got hot.
See, that's another one, isn't it? That was a high-risk shot, wasn't it? It was a good, strong, hard, flat return, and Denis can quickly try to redirect it over the highest part of the net. At that point, he still had a safe, heavy forehand cross-court, and he's well entrenched into the rally, so wanting to finish it quickly, paying the price. He jumps on top of that second serve.
That's a high-quality return. That's not easy for a right-hander, the left-handed kicker.
What he can do here, though, Colin, because he got in so tight, he was able to get on top of the spin there.
Yeah.
And he's been beaten a bit by that when he was back deeper. That's because spin starts to take control of the hit, and you miss-hit it, and it fires off sideways on you. That was good.
Gudjon.
Well, he's been spectacular tonight, hasn't he, at times? And Shapovalov does it in style. Just over the hour and a half it took him after a lengthy opening service game. But he wins in straight sets this number 2 singles, 6-4, 6-3.
Denis Shapovalov stepping up for Team Canada tonight. They have a 1-0 lead now in the ATP Cup 2022 final. We'll hear from Denis in just a moment, and right around the corner, it is all on the line for Team Spain. Felix Auger-Aliassime looking to wrap it up for Canada. Roberto Bautista Agut. He's also, like Pablo Carreño Busta, previously unbeaten. They go head-to-head. The number 1 men's singles match of the night, of the final, and it's just moments away on the Wide World of Sports. Against Felix Auger-Aliassime.
He doesn't need it to win. He has 0 winners and 0 unforced errors. He's just playing safe and smart and high percentage. And Auger-Aliassime, 2 winners and 7 unforced. Classic. Absolute classic Spanish tennis. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the stat sheet. We'll just shake hands a winner and, you know, take the trophy and the prize money.
Better point.
Well, here's the thing. If Auger-Aliassime settles in and starts to bide his time and play points like this where the court is open and he can hurt Roberto with a high percentage shot, that's nowhere near the line. He has more speed on every shot. He covers the court better. He's faster. He may not know where to be and what to do all the time. He's not as experienced as Roberto. His top end, though, significantly higher than the Spaniards. It's just that Roberto is almost always at his top end, and Felix, it's not there all the time, to say the least.
Hold your horses, Jim. Was that an error?
That's number 1.
Yeah.
Still no winners, but first error.
Few and far between, though. It's like a shock when he makes one.
stunning stroke play.
And you can see what all the hype is about, right? The hype is there for a reason, because this kid is so good when he's on. And he has a chance to get back on serve here with 2 break points.
Breathtaking.
Game, Team Canada.
Absolutely breathtaking. What a brilliant way to break back.
2 with Roberto Bautista Agut.
JT Lau.
Such elegant shot making. Possibilities.
Is starting to settle in and not miss as much. He's up in his racket head speed, pummeling this one, 145K, pulling that one inside in perfectly, threatening to take Team Canada's serve for the 2nd consecutive time. And that's the reaction from Felix.
18-14.
And possibly it's an overreaction, going a little bit too big after getting beaten with some forehands in the 2 prior points.
I know you've done a lot of research on Auger-Aliassime's second serve in terms of that slice. A lot of body serves from the Canadian, isn't there? And you could see that RBA has also done his work. He does just a little half a step swivel, give himself the space to redirect up the line.
Yeah. Felix serves almost exclusively body on his second serve. It's big, but it's highly predictable at this stage of his career. It would be worth changing up a little bit for him down the track, if not sooner than that. On the break point here. And another second serve coming. You don't really have to worry too much about the short kick serve going up high to your backhand when you play Felix. You can hold the center of the box for the most part. Even that was an attempted kick with topspin on it, and it was going straight through the middle of the box. That predictability is a vulnerability.
Often we talk about Achilles' heels with players, and we have done. Game away, but he does put himself behind in the count quite often.
How would you solve that if you were coaching him?
I'm sure that number would change significantly.
Doesn't do that a lot. He goes to the same spot most of the time and the same result with that lack of kick on the serve. Now, that's a technical change that he needs to make if he's going to incorporate that in his game. But in the meantime, he could vary where he stands a little bit on that second court. He could stand another half a minute.
He's 11 in the world, but he's really, really good, and he can get better. I always see that as a positive. A 21-year-old with room to, if he's topped out now, he's got game to get after. But that double fault puts him against it again. Like last season, he finished 11 in the world, but he was 58th on tour at winning second serve points. You just bump that up a little bit to 25 on the tour. That's the difference of moving from 11 to probably number 5 in the rankings, because that's kind of the same move that Zverev made from 7 in the world to 3 in the world by shoring up his second serve in 2021. It's there for Felix, but there's work to be done, and there's an opportunity for Team Spain here. Nearly the double-double. You don't want that unless you're in California at In-N-Out Burger.
You're a funny guy, Jeff. Do you know that?
Funny, strange, not funny, haha. Yeah. I've heard that before.
A little different.
Jimmy, but I agree wholeheartedly. I would call him raw. We have to remember he's 21. He in tennis terms he's still a baby, but he's got the physique and the movement capabilities of an amazing athlete. And when he learns to plug those holes you were talking about, and there's several of them in this game, and he's already 11 in the world, so the sky's the limit really. But yeah, it's a good place to be, I think. If you fill those holes, you can be anything.
His nephew, but with Felix. Tony Nadal has come back on tour in the last year, not with Rafa, but with Felix. They added him into the team alongside Frederick Font.
Can improve the volleys, a little bit, and start moving forward to finish some of these ground stroke points off. Look out.
Corks a beautiful serve. Look at this. At the end of the game, Baptiste-Trégou putting the weight on the outside leg, cannot get back.
How about 2-all in 26 minutes? Yes, please.
Possibilities. And we're seeing them all explored right now. Lovely little grip change. Look at that. So subtle. Interesting to see a couple more down the line backhands here from Baptiste-Trégou. It's almost as though Auger-Aliassime has forced him to move the ball a little quicker down the line than he'd like to, and it's obviously going to be a bit more dangerous. Over the low part of the net, the easier shot there, plenty of pace attached to it. He's going to have to be careful that he's not breaking down the Canadian's two-hander.
The space.
Oh, that is absolutely brilliant again from Auger-Aliassime. What a nudge up the line. It's got himself down well to that one. He actually hit that pretty flat. Of course, that is a big advantage for him on the two-hander against Bautista Agut. He's got about 800 RPMs extra spin on that two-hander. Gives him the control, the height over the net. Stern test to the serve, but success for Spain as Bautista Agut holds on 3-2. Lovely white base, isn't it? Gets up on his toes, but if he does need to move, he's going to get a nice big push off, big step, go and track it down.
Congrats to Ash Barty on her title in Adelaide. It's been a joy to watch her play this week. Boy, is her defense so impressive. Her use of the slice when she's in trouble is incredible. And that's something that I think Felix could add into his game a little bit more. He missed that backhand open stance on the dead run under pressure. And that would have been a relatively easy shot to slice. And against someone like Bautista, who, especially if you get it low, doesn't have the RPMs on his shots to get it up and down quickly, it's a good safety shot. Again, more areas that he can get better on. And he's already 11 in the world. I mean, it's remarkable. 21 years of age and so much potential and little areas that can make immense differences.
Well, that was a 40 love shot, that choice of shot. He wouldn't have played that at deuce, I don't think. He was a long way behind the baseline there, Roberto, and had to change direction. But that was a low percentage shot, this one from way back there. Probably wouldn't have won the point anyway if it had gone over. Well, 2 mistakes in a row you don't often see from this man. Being the pro he is, you'd expect him to play a good point here, though, at 40-30 to close this game out.
So smart. Just takes the pass right up the middle. Challenges Team Canada to make the volley. They can't handle it. And we're on serve in a beauty of a contest. Beautiful little dance around the ball to get the forehand he wanted from Bautista Agut. All the little steps that get him in position to let fly with that terrific inside-out forehand.
I just love a point like that. How quick was Bautista Agut to recognise hit the backhand down the line?
Yeah, and he picks the right time, Pets, doesn't he? I mean, this is where he can inflict some serious damage, and so the points become more important at 3-4, 15 all, and that's when he steps up. Just such a pro. And Felix now does need to serve well right now. He's missed 2 of the first 3 first serves. He needs a couple.
Oh, he's found the line. Outstanding.
Especially with the new balls, Pets, because they do carry a little further. They're a bit quicker through the air, a tiny bit more difficult to control, and he's handled them magnificently in this game. He's trying to make his move in this first set.
Oh, that's an odd choice. Bautista rarely hits the slice backhand and rally, and he did it twice there. Unusual to see him make a tactical decision that is not correct. But perhaps the pressure of the moment getting to him there. He was in the rally, didn't need to hit the slice the second time. The first time, maybe, that was up high. This is the second one. I don't know. That was strange to me.
Yep, I agree with you. He was in good position at the two-hander.
And prior to that rally, once they were in a baseline exchange, Bautista Agut had only hit 1 slice up till now, and he hits 2 on the same point at a really vital time. That's just something that we just don't expect from him. That was a gift, it really was. And Auger-Aliassime trying to wriggle out of a game again when he's under threat. Remember, Bautista had 3 break points when he was up 2-1. Felix serving at 1-2. Bautista's had 6 break points and broken once. Felix has only had 1, and he got it. A lot more chances for Team Spain thus far.
Team Spain.
Well, there's so much data out there that you can go and pick. That is his 5th worst scoreline in a game where he serves double faults. Most of them come in the opening couple of points, but the deuce one is a particularly bad one for him.
Petch, he missed that by 2 or 3 meters.
Yeah.
It almost hit the baseline. That was a shot. That in the backhand slice got my draw on the table right now from this game.
182 Ks as well.
Pressure does funny things to people. I mean, it just shows you how much they want this ATP Cup.
Yes.
I do think there is a strategic thing in Auger-Aliassime's mind on his second serve as well. He loves to hit his forehand as his first shot after his serve. And I think he feels, if I serve at 170 Ks on the second into the body, good chance I'm going to get my forehand into play. the right time to slice. Auger-Aliassime just got himself outmaneuvered with the shot down the line. And he had so much court to cover to get back even into the center of it. There was space developing behind him, and it was exploited beautifully by Spain's number one. Another chance to break.
Helpful if you're a fan of Team Canada. Another first serve coming now. Three double faults so far out of 11 second serve attempts for Auger-Aliassime. Puts a lot of pressure on this moment. What does he do? Go big? Conservative? Only he knows. Conservative it was. And he got the forehand. Didn't have to go big to get the forehand, Mark.
Well, just as his teammate Denis Shapovalov has shown us over the last couple of matches, the 2 wins he's had in the semi and here, he uses the serve to get the first forehand and then just doesn't hold back, just goes after it. So he is looking for the forehand on the first shot, but that second serve is, you've got your heart in your mouth a little bit with the lack of margin there sometimes.
His second serve make percentage is only slightly higher than his first serve make percentage right now. That's scary. That's not good. Unless your first serve percentage is 80%, which it isn't.
And this is the side, I think, that's more prone.
All right, so what do you do now if you're Bautista? You're having your 9th break point. It's your 5th break point in this game.
Well, if he gets his first serve into play, all you can try and do is get the ball back deep. Anything short, Aliassime will have the forehand, and then he controls the point. He'll win it or lose it from there. But if it's a first serve into play, he stands a fair way back to try and nullify this first serve, but he needs to get it back deep if he can. Second serve, he's got some options. Well, as in the doubles match yesterday, his serve is keeping him in this at the moment. Even though his second serve has been a little bit shaky, the first serve, he's come up with it at the right time, hasn't he?
About a stress reliever. A couple of first serve free points and a chance to escape this serious threat and to grab a lot of momentum heading into Bautista's service game if he can hold here.
Years young as we head back live, all locked up 4-4 in the first.
There was some lovely subtle disguise on that ball toss from Bautista Agut. That was a drifter. It drifted left and it looked as though he was going to hit it down the tee, and he just managed to flip it out wide. Wasn't the quickest serve, as you can see, 161. savour it. Sumptuous shot making again from both players. Agility and acceleration. First from Bautista Agut, and then this.
Yeah, now at 30 all, having had all those chances in the last game, and Felix surviving it. Now it's Bautista Agut's chance to feel the weight of the moment. Auger-Aliassime's mixed it up on second serve return. He's been up front on the top of the baseline and a little bit back. He's staying back. Second point in a row on a second, and he draws a double. Bautista Agut gets tight, donates the double fault. And here potentially comes the boomerang break after saving all those break points. Momentum swinging quickly into Team Canada's side of the net.
What a battle this is.
I'll tell you one thing, nothing but admiration for the way that Bautista Agut reset that point. He was on the offense. It was a great squash shot from Felix to get back to neutral. He didn't panic. The Spaniard just buckled down and hit the reset button.
Yeah, he's feeling pressure. You can see he's trying to force it a little bit more, isn't he? And that's a real tribute to the way that Auger-Aliassime is playing his tennis. And he's a little less comfortable playing that style.
Deuce. Advantage, Team Canada.
Seen a lot of break points here, and no one's been able to take one for quite some time. Third break point in this game for Team Canada. Can Team Spain fight it off?
Yeah, these types of games, Jim, are pivotal, aren't they? They can really be a big swing either way. He holds here, and then the disappointment for Felix going round to serve next time up can affect the next game.
Cut and thrust of this contest, a real spectacle.
Auger-Aliassime's been playing pretty deep in the court, and he's won 4 out of 5 points when he stood back here for a second serve.
And he's needed them to keep this man at bay.
Overhits that one. Fitzy, you're right down there where Roberto is along the baseline there. He is a long way back to receive that first serve. And a lot of those aces are beating him out wide. Is that something he might consider moving a little bit more forward on?
Look, maybe, but you know, I feel very loath to offer him advice on the return. We're back there, obviously, so I'm not sure I'd be arguing with him. But this serve is big. When he, you know, he'd be acing a lot of guys, I think. Felix with the first serve. It's just the second one that's worrying me, but he moves up certainly on the second serve. Jim, I think when he gets the new balls, Felix, it goes wide even more, you know, which is a tendency of quite a few players. You know, they get the new balls and they serve. If they're a right-hander, they'll go wide more often, usually, to the first court. Not always, but and a lefty will go wide to the second court because they can curve that ball more. But he could vary where he stands, I guess, but he feels comfortable. It comes into play. Because if he drops it short, the point will be over.
So many points are applauded, aren't they? Because we've got a naturally ingrained reflex to do so when we're watching a sporting occasion. Not tonight. They are all fully deserved. That stayed on rails. He's done well to come through that game without too many complications on the scoreboard, to be honest. That wasn't a bad returning game and some well-constructed points by Bautista Agut. Just couldn't put the finishing touches. He's usually pretty tidy around the net.
Great footwork, and he just knows in the court where he is. You know, to hit that winner, he needed to be up further in the court. And as soon as he saw the ball come from Aliassime there, it was dropping a bit short. He just skipped forward about a metre just before he hit. There he goes. before he makes contact and gives himself a better chance to finish the point. Subconscious.
Best sport in the world. Two of the best players in the world. An absolutely enthralling match.
He's not getting a ton on this first serve. Not too many free points here, and at times it drops down into the 160s, this first serve. So I'm not sure if he's feeling a little bit fatigued here, Roberto. He had a tough one, didn't he, in the semi-final 2 nights ago. And as tough as he is as a competitor, I just wonder if physically he's just getting a bit edgy here. A bit tiny bit tired.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, early in the season, he's been Mr. January, hasn't he? Over the course of his career, he's been so special. 41 and just the 7 losses since 2016 for Roberto Bautista-Agut in this month.
He did have a bit of a flat spot against Hurkacz in the middle of his match the other night, but then he regrouped, got a second wind and finished so strongly. But it was just a little bit of a dip halfway through that match.
Well, for all the neutrals, this looks as though it's going to be heading towards a tiebreaker, which is the ultimate destination for a set of this quality. 6-5, Team Spain. I think actually I was a two course.
Guys. We're still on the opening set. This is the spectacle is the word you use, Petch. I agree. It's a good call.
The vivid patterness of some of these rallies is just extraordinary. Speed of movement, anticipation on show tonight, something else. Both players probing, pushing. And at the end of a rally like that, in a little bit of pain as well.
It's like the young bull and the old bull here, isn't it?
It's been such a lovely set of tennis in terms of the fluctuations as well. It's oscillated so nicely between both players. I think it was such a good shot, to be honest, Fitz here. These are the extremities of the court on the line, with angle, with pace. As well as he dances, that was just a little bit too much.
Well, he may have thought the ball was going out, Fitzy. That's how close it was to the line.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the heaviness of shot here is starting to take effect, I think, a little bit. Aliassime, when he gets set on his forehand, it's pretty vicious. He hits it with a heaviness that can pin opponents down, even a great one like Bautista Agut.
Aliassime started the match a little shaky. Had 7 unforced errors in the first couple of games. Bautista Agut was rock solid. But the young Canadian has settled himself, and the forehand's found its mark more often than not as the set's worn on. And his first serve has done some damage.
Good anticipation on the return. He had to take a little bit of a guess, and he got it right. And that is a lifeline.
You take a little pace off if you're Bautista Agut to make a first serve. He's only winning about 1/3 of second serve points, and he wins 2/3 of first serves. The math says absolutely.
I'm not arguing with that logic. He should have listened to you. Above average in pace by 6 Ks. He went after it. It's cost him.
He just couldn't get the ball away from Felix's forehand, and Felix found the right spot, and with it 4 set points.
Yeah, his ground strokes are really standing out now as being just a fraction too heavy.
A set that had absolutely everything that is magical about this sport, and it goes Team Canada's way.
I might be on Bondi.
That's good too. You'd have places everywhere.
There's that double on the opening point of the game that just puts him a little bit behind the 8 ball. What he has done exceptionally well since he lost a tiebreaker to Ken Khachanov in Cincinnati last year is win his last 9 tiebreakers, including that one that we've just watched.
About 6 minutes between the end of the tiebreak and the beginning of this set, and that seems like there was an adrenaline drain from Felix.
I get the move from Bautista Agut. You move that way off a body serve, it moves you to the middle of the court. Obviously, you don't outmaneuver yourself by moving that way. And again, conventional wisdom will suggest that that's what you do. Due side, move to your forehand, you get to the middle of the court. You don't move the other way to get yourself out of position. I actually think, having seen what you've been talking about this week on the second serve, you've actually got an opportunity to move a step and actually rip the forehand rather than just using the backhand. And if there was one thing I don't think he's done as well, is put that kind of psychological pressure on Auger-Aliassime that that's what he's going to do. He's going to actually rip a forehand return on that point. He's just not a big returner. He's a percentage player on the return, Bautista Agut. He's coming back from a set down as well. Bautista Agut hasn't actually done it since the Miami Masters when he came back from a set down against Jan-Lennard Struff there. So that is in March last year.
That slice is not good enough, is it? It's not heavy enough. So a little bit of work on that, I think, as well. You know, if he can get that to be a bit heavier, just like the volleys, that'll really improve him a lot. That tough to defend that. If you float that too high, too shallow, too light, a player like Bautista Agut will attack the next ball.
Too far from here.
I like that. That I really like.
I mean, if he uses that off forehand with that heaviness, he's going to take his opponent out of court. The opponent drops back deeper. He's got to float that one. Yeah, move in. Take it in the air. Beautiful.
That was questionable whether that was an out ball or not, guys.
That wasn't even that flamboyant, was it? He needed to jump that high just to make the shot, but it was a very simple one. He'll be disappointed with that outcome. Some pressure exerted on his first service game of the second. Relieved by a backhand error from his opponent. And he will be relieved himself, Bautista Agut.
Now, these are like a couple of boxers who just had an incredibly physical round, and then they come out the next round and they're just kind of jabbing, catching their breath a little bit before they resume the real battle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not doing a bad job on the second serve. 40 was that 48% Ojai Aliassime on his second serve points won, but that isn't that far off his career average. I just wonder whether Bautista Agut could just force that return a little bit. That was super safe up the middle. I know that's how he loves to start the point, through the middle.
Let's climb too. Felix has won a lot of his second serve points. He was down in the 30s percentage-wise here towards the tail end of that first set. So yeah, that's lifted quite a bit in the last 15, 20 minutes. Here's the one you're talking about. So this is the one where Bautista at times will move towards the center of the court to take on a backhand when he could dance a little to his left and get a forehand, because the ball's going through the center of the court on this second serve. Well, that was actually one of Felix's best second serves that we've seen. That had a little bit of kick to it. It was a little bit wider than normal. That was lovely, actually. That shows that he actually can do it. That's the type of topspin on the second serve which gives you control, and then you can swing faster at it. Think about the way that Nadal goes after his forehand and swings so hard and generates so much topspin that actually gives him an immense amount of net clearance and then dip on the ball, hence control. That's what Felix just showed he can do on his second.
First time I've seen Roberto fire up a little bit. Gave it the come on in Spanish, and a little bit of energy there. Good to see.
Yeah, this guy's never going to flare out. Right under the shoelaces of Felix.
Vamos.
It's easy to be a critic when you got nothing on the line, but that forehand should have gone behind Bautista Agut. It would have been a tough passing shot if he had to stop and pop and hit a backhand and on the run. The reason Felix missed that is he feared what Roberto can do with that forehand runner. So a bad choice coupled with bad location equals double break point. That's 9 consecutive break points Ojai Aliassime has saved. Can he make it double digits?
And there's definitely been a lot of saving as well, being the operative word, rather than Bautista Agut not taking his chances. Some excellent serving on break point down from Ojai Aliassime.
Thank you.
That's why you see the backhand down the line being hit so infrequently in this match, because if you miss the target, there is a huge forehand waiting to collect the ball. He has had good success when he's nailed it close to the line on the backhand down the line, Bautista Agut, but that one wasn't. Salvages the service game superbly, does Ojai Aliassime. 2-1 Canada.
Good investment from Bautista Agut to play deep and consistent and de-risk his side of the equation. Auger-Aliassime punched that one long. There's Davidovich Fokina, one of Team Spain's deep bench. Everybody on Team Spain ranked inside the top 60 in singles. All 5 of them. Missed it. That was there for the taking.
Jim, for me, the potential is so huge here for Aliassime as the years come on. But I think when he hits that forehand so well, the 2 previous forehands, he should have been closer to the baseline. He remained just a bit deep for me, and that cost him when that ball was chipped short. He hit the forehand that good, looked to be moving up. That's what Federer would do.
Offered up the opportunity to get out of trouble, and he's taken it. It didn't break in the previous game, but it didn't break his resolve. Team Spain 2 apiece.
Well done there. They've relied heavily on their singles. They've been perfect until tonight. Team Spain 8-0 in the 4 previous matches to reach the final. Suffered their first loss when Denis Shapovalov took out Carreño Busta to open things tonight, and there is nothing that Ramos Vinolas, Davidovich Fokina, or Pedro Martinez can do right now other than hope that some of them get a chance to get in for a live doubles match. Depth matters not at the moment. On the other side, Auger-Aliassime, Shapovalov ranked 11th and 14th respectively. They're backed up by Braden Schnur and Steven Diaz, both ranked outside of the top 200 in the world.
Well, it's been a fun time to be a Spanish tennis fan for decade upon decade upon decade, but it's been a good time to be a Canadian tennis fan over the last decade or so. So many wonderful players. Genie Bouchard, of course, final of a couple of majors. Milos Raonic floating around, but boy, this looks like a golden decade coming up there. Bianca Andreescu, of course, US Open champion. Leylah Fernandez, of course, runner-up last year at the US Open. No trial or tribulation on that particular service game for Auger-Aliassime.
15-all.
A little more impetus there from Baptiste Ragout to get that ball right in the corner of the outside to keep the Auger-Aliassime forehand quiet. Nice little bank of Spanish supporters there that Baptiste Ragout a couple of times now has looked up to. Vamos. There are those fans, and he's riling them up as well.
3-all.
3 others out of their seats after that last game as Baptiste Ragout levels up this second set midway through it.
He's a great competitor, isn't he? I just get the feeling he's really hurting here physically, and it's a long week. It's a tough week, this ATP Cup, to get to the final. You play some brutal matches, and a semi-final would have been draining for him against Hubert Hurkacz, and it looks a little bit like he's feeling it here, but he's digging deep, as you'd expect. What a great competitor.
15-love.
Unless there's a hiccup, though, he just seems to be on a roll now, Felix, doesn't he? He's still got the power. He looks like he's doing it in, well, not third gear, but the revs are not at the red line yet. He's got some in reserve, you'd think, and he's still hammering this first serve and the forehand. He looks like he's got more in the tank to me.
I'll tell you one thing that's also notable and so impressive. Felix Auger-Aliassime was completely dominated yesterday in the singles by Daniil Medvedev. That match went 4-all, and Felix didn't win another game. It was over in a flash, 6-4, 6-0. This is a phenomenal bounce back. He didn't have a day off to think about it and regroup. He had to come right back. I'm sure winning the doubles yesterday was aloe on the sunburn. Took a lot of the sting out of it, but man, this is still impressive. And he may lose this match. Anything goes here. I'm with you, Fitz. I do think he's got the momentum, and he looks to be fresher, which is interesting because Batista's the one who has not played doubles and not been pressed terribly and had a day off after that tough match against Hurkacz the other night. Felix had to play 4 sets yesterday and change.
Back-to-back love holds for Team Canada, moving closer and closer to winning this ATP. The lethal loveliness of that collection of forehands from Auger-Aliassime on full display.
And it's going to be a long time before Baptiste Ragout hits a serve. He has got to regroup. He is spending a ton of energy just trying to track down all these monster forehands from the young Canadian. He is covering a lot of ground at the back of the court, and Felix hammering away. Finally finishes things.
She described it magnificently. The ability to handle suffering is what he and the Spanish players are so good at, the tolerance for it, but he's hurting here now. Surely that was leg strength and fatigue getting wide to the chip.
Dangerous times. Desperate times. As OJ Aliassime made his move at the most perfect opportunity.
Yeah, he put him on the ropes with so many body blows, and Bautista Agut just didn't have the legs to stay in that rally. And now OJ Aliassime on the cusp of a monumental achievement for Team Canada. Massive team title at the ATP Cup, and let's not sleep on the fact that OJ Aliassime has played in 8, count it again, 8 ATP singles finals and has never won any of them. This would be one way to break that duck.
That's the play. So simple. And so good, by the way.
15 love.
Now, if he makes first serves, you feel like he's going to get through the tape here. And what a celebration we will see.
Thank you.
Partnering with his childhood friend.
No sign of Shapa yet, though. Dennis hasn't poked his head out yet.
He's got to be coming down the tunnel.
You think so? It's a fairly long tunnel.
Well, we've seen the power, but we've also seen such intelligence from OJ Aliassime, just 21 years of age, but a beautiful combination of shots there.
There's Chapo in the tunnel now, Jim. He senses that there's going to be a big celebration here if he wins this point.
Team Canada to win the ATP Cup.
Thank you.
Just wanted to allow Chapo to come down the tunnel, Fitzy. He's kind like that.
Well, he was already in the doorway before that point. Sure, he would have liked.
His semi-final opponent, Hubert Hurkacz, in 3 sets. And there he is, the man, the captain, Felix and Dennis. Made inaugural.
He could not get his men to elevate their tennis to withstand the barrage of shot making and sheer elegance from Shapovalov and OJ Aliassime. He hasn't been Mr. Sunday yet on the ATP Tour, but he is today for his country.
Serbia in 2020, Russia 2021, and the comeback kids of Canada in 2022. Great scenes at Ken Roseball Arena. Canada crowned the champions in front of a boisterous crowd tonight over a very slick Spanish side that had cruised.
Cup in 2019, so I think tonight we really wanted to dig deep and try to get a revenge from that time.
Well, you definitely had to dig deep. There's no doubt about that. That opening set was an hour and 25 minutes, longer than a lot of two-set matches. It was incredible. You were down early. You got back on serve. You saved 8 straight break points through the course of that set and somehow won that tiebreak. What was that like, saving all of those big pressure points? How did you get through those difficult moments and finally get that first set?
I mean, many times I thought I was going to go down a break. I mean, I did in the start, and then I was able to get back on serve. But I think that the point just comes, and you try to really, dig deep, think about the good things, and think how you're going to win that point. And then just on and on and on. I was able to do it every time. Sometimes it's a bit of luck. I mean, today also I was good in the important moments, so that's always important. But again, just trying to stay positive also. I think compared to other matches this week, I think I stayed very composed, very positive throughout the ups and downs of the match. And I think that's why, I had the energy to finish strong and then, to finish by serving well again.
Well, you had a lot of support in your team zone from your teammates, from everyone back there, Freddie, your coach. But it's you that has to close out the match. And this is a massive title, this ATP Cup. To do it for your teammates and for yourself, what was that like, finishing that last little bit off? Because that's not always easy to get that first big one.
No, it's not easy. I haven't won something like this in a few years, so it's really important for me. The arm got quite heavy on that 40 love serve, as you could see. But I'm happy I was able, to close it out with a good serve and just to get the win. At the end of the day, that's that's why I step on the court is to try to get the win for myself and the team. I mean, I couldn't be happier. What a way to start the year. I mean, we came here with, of course, with good motivation, always, demanding a lot of ourselves, but not with the highest expectations. Dennis being in quarantine, myself being the first tournament. We're missing our main captain, Peter, at home watching. Thanks for the good words throughout the week. So, we weren't the favorites, but at the end of the day, that's sport, that's sports, and I'm happy we're able to get that first title for Canada.
Let's hear it, everyone, for Team Canada. They're your champions. Congratulations.
Team Canada, 2022 ATP Cup champions, and great to see a contingent there cheering them on as well with the Maple Leaf. Felix Auger-Aliassime